Thank Cute video. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. Consensus is a global formation of blockchain developers, enthusiasts, entrepreneurs, and creatives. Building off the Ethereum blockchain, we aim to bring to market the products, services, and infrastructure that will bring about a decentralized future. Internally, we incubate over 50 projects, all of which are aimed at supporting or growing different parts of the ecosystem. In this ecosystem, we talk a lot about Web3 and the opportunities it will and already is bringing. I will share what we're building to give you a sense of the forthcoming decentralized future. Web3-based systems will create new ways of interacting, new business models, and entirely new industries, creating abundance and value while directly empowering end users. The internet has evolved over the years, from the Web 1 of the past to Web 2 of the present, and soon Web 3 of the near future. We started with pre-web protocols, the internet protocols in the 80s. On top of those, we built Web 1, which was essentially static text and images linked together via hyperlinks. Web 2, where we are right now, added interactivity, e-commerce, mobile, and social. Web 1 was a profound invention. Web 2 profoundly impacted global society. Web 3 is what we are merging into. Web 3 is the decentralized World Wide Web. It's picking up steam as we speak. Sorry. The improved decentralized architecture of Web3 applications will facilitate new and better ways of interacting. Interoperability will be key to web-wide synergy, and self-sovereign identity will be crucial. Uport, Consensus's project devoted to self-sovereign identity, seeks to fix one of the key drawbacks of Web 2, the lack of an identity construct native to the web. This has led to our identities being fractured across the internet, used to exploit our attention and our personal information. Our personal information is under control of other entities, whether they be hackers stealing and monetizing our information or web properties who also monetize. The Uport team has doggedly explored identity and reputation since early days at Consensus, when we realized we needed an identity construct that would enable access to apps via single sign-on, and additionally present the world an alternative to the exploitative business models. Uport iterated solutions over the years, collecting constraints and concerns, and whittling its offerings down to a minimal yet sufficient decentralized offering. Self-sovereign identity and personal information should be fully under the control of the individual. As we turn Web 2.0 business models upside down and architect Web 3 services to be user-centric, Uport and the 3-box personal data locker facilitate interoperation from the perspective of and to the benefit of the user. Please check out Uport's new developer libraries if you are a developer and you wish to empower your user. Decentralization is the primary organizing characteristic of Web 3. The concept of decentralization arose over recent years due to a backlash with regards to how the operating structure of the financial world and loss of trust in centralized institutions like national governments. Centralized top-down control may have served humanity well when communication and decision-making were slow and expensive. But now we have global instant communications. We can make decisions together within 15 seconds on the Ethereum blockchain, even if up to half of the actors on the network are malicious. This makes decentralization as an organizing principle viable for all sorts of systems. Hierarchical structures are often rigid, not agile, and slow to respond. Decision-making occurs near the top, oftentimes far removed from the situation itself. Managers in traditional hierarchies consciously or unconsciously tend to silo information, keeping their power concentrated. Creative problem-solving and innovation don't tend to thrive or even survive in rigid hierarchies. This can be soul-crushing for many in a corporate pyramid. In the face of stagnant structures and negatively impacted productivity, experimenting with decentralized architecture holds significant promise. These systems can be flatter, more fluid, and more effective. The Ethereum project and community are dedicated to radical decentralization, as much decentralization as is practical. All of the tools, apps, and solutions we're building on Ethereum share a single theory. There is a better way for systems to be built and for people to interact. From the beginning, we believed that theory should be true for consensus as a company as well. We believe the traditional organization and business practices of companies need to change. To that end, we are minimizing and soon hopefully eliminating top-down control. At Consensus, we're exploring ways to decentralize work, employing our resources to ensure ecosystem growth comes from the collective mindset of the community instead of just from within Consensus. 3 of these initiatives are Cowrie, Gitcoin, and Bounties. Cowrie is a platform for shared technical documents, aggregating knowledge from across the ecosystem on a single platform. Gitcoin and Bounties.network allow for outsourced work, both developer-focused and non-technical, to expand the ability to contribute to work beyond the walls of a company. Together, these platforms are enabling us and others to get more work done better and faster. They enable dynamic workforce assembly, which enables us to have smaller, more focused teams and bring more global, often specialized talent into our projects. And for the developer, bounty hunters on those platforms, they can work on what they want, when they want, enjoy a diversity of projects, get paid at higher hourly rates if they choose to work faster, and work from anywhere in the world. And both parties, if they like each other, can choose to solidify the relationship into long-term employment. At Consensus, we endeavor to embody decentralization in our day-to-day operations. We aim to be as flat an organization as possible. Consensus members self-organize. We don't do 20% time at Consensus. We have 100% time, as we prefer that everyone work on what they're passionate about. As a result, our organization requires new ways of taking responsibility and ensuring accountability. To that end, we've developed novel software and processes. Sobol is a project that used to be called TMNT, Traditional Management Nullification Tool. We had to change the name for obvious reasons. Sobol is a cross between a corporate intranet, LinkedIn, and Teal management software that would be designed to support holacracy. Teal organizations treat the company as an organism with various functional organs and lots of measurement, processes, and feedback loops designed to keep the organism healthy without traditional organization charts and managers. Employees can log into their Sobol account to access the company's profile. In our own Sobol profile, Consensus is organized as circles within circles, each of which has its own identity, vision, goals, and operations. People are associated with different projects in different circles. Their percent of attention to those projects is depicted. OKRs and KPIs can be defined for people and for projects, and soon people and groups within Consensus will be able to enter into agreements within Sobol. We are in the early days of exploring what a decentralized company can be, but the vision is emerging one of many autonomous units, each operating as though they are embedded in an efficient free market. Sobol is helping us redefine what a firm looks like. Bounties, Gitcoin, Cowrie, and more are helping us expand traditional, exclusive ideas of who can and cannot contribute to a company. The most important message to reiterate is that all these teams and all these initiatives are self-organized, fluid, and decentralized. This is a radical departure from a company structure where projects are rigidly defined, often at the detriment to optimization and creativity. The consensus mesh is a hybrid organization in various ways, part software company, part professional services organization, part venture capital firm. Though we strive towards decentralization in all these services, we must sometimes maintain structures that are required in the legacy world, particularly in our finance, HR, and legal groups. As we get better in articulating APIs and SLAs for our various functional groups using a technology called open law, we can imagine that even these more traditional functions will be able to offer tools and services to other companies in addition to our own internal groups. Our marketing group has recently started doing this under what is known as the Catalyst brand. The legal team is building software tools designed to protect consumers better in the new token economy. Many of our groups externalize their offerings, and as we all evolve towards greater decentralization, soon it won't be hard to imagine companies using our various services and effectively permissionlessly attaching themselves to the mesh that we consider to be consensus projects and companies. Interoperability is the second crucial quality of Web3 and a blockchain-powered future. As the quantity of blockchains, platforms, and tools grows, we are beginning to understand the importance of assuring that we do not create the silos of today's institutions that keeps information restricted. Ethereum is emerging as one of the foundational components of a world computer, which will exist as a constellation of interoperating systems. Web3, or the decentralized World Wide Web, will consist of many decentralized protocols for trusted transactions, automated agreements, smart software objects, storage, bandwidth, heavy compute, identity, reputation, proof of location, legally enforceable agreements, certificates, resources, and asset tokenization, as for kilowatt hours, equities, real estate, and songs and art. Decentralization powers interoperability. The new trust foundation, enabled by the radically decentralized Ethereum base layer, is what is facilitating this evolution towards collaboration. It is trustful collaboration, even with parties you don't know or compete with, that will enable a world of decentralized actors to thrive. In an interoperable Web3, actors no longer have to depend on embedded intermediaries, the music companies, the banks, law firms, insurers, brokers, and intermediaries, and existing sharing economy companies who currently provide necessary trust and, from that privileged position, suck up much of the value via rents in their sectors. In these early days, the ecosystem is being advanced by the builders, largely for the builders. Yes, we've attracted financial and speculator types, but mostly it is about devs, engineers, entrepreneurs, and cybersecurity professionals. These are the people who are building and maturing the components and standards. These are elements like different styles of tokens, swap protocols, and exchanges, data feeds, markets and I/O protocols, governance tools and accounting systems, registries, named services, legally and automatically enforceable agreements and certificates. Hundreds of components like these are composable into a compelling app, because Ethereum is all about easy synergy and standards that ensure exchanges, wallets, swap protocols, and other tools can interoperate with what is built. Ethereum is where the standards of the Web3 world are being forged. While projects at Consensus have a high degree of autonomy, we emphasize rich communication, collaboration, and interoperation among teams as much as possible. The standard bounties contract, for instance, integrates with Gitcoin so devs can easily fulfill open source bug bounties. AirSwap's decentralized cryptocurrency exchange plugs into Augur's prediction market, Meridio's tokenized real estate platform, and Opera's browser so users can swap ERC tokens instantly. Bounties Network and the stablecoin project MakerDAO are working together to verify ocean cleanups. Aragon, Dharma, Zeppelin, and several other projects share technical docs on the Cowrie Knowledge Network and encourage their communities to contribute tutorials and help one another so we can build faster together. This concept of interoperability is increasingly embraced by legacy institutions that historically may be hesitant to openly collaborate with other players and competitors in their markets. With the data control and security of blockchain technology, however, we're beginning to see enterprise comfort with leveraging a new technology to optimize processes and improve communication. One of the leaders in the effort to bring Web 2 companies towards Web 3 is the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. The EEA is a collaboration of over 500 companies, including Consensus, with the shared goal of creating a set of open, enterprise-grade standards built on and around the Ethereum technology. By making these protocols open to industries, the EEA aims to foster an interoperable future of enterprise collaboration. As core guiding principles, interoperability and decentralization help us better imagine the opportunities Web3 can provide. By staying true to those organizing concepts, we can ensure the advancements we make in this field always improve the broken or failing systems or suboptimal systems of today. Ethereum is far in the lead as a viable candidate for Web3, largely because of its interoperable and radically decentralized nature. It may be a few years before our ecosystem achieves profound interoperability and decentralization in the base and higher layers, but that is okay. We can grow into the radical future we imagine as we take care of adoption, use case exploration, user interface and user experience definition, all of which will keep us busy for years. Thank you.